What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Welcome to day 251 of the 365-day graphic novel review challenge. Today, I want to talk to you about another weird Western graphic novel. This is The Iron West, written and drawn by Doug TenNapel. This is the story of Preston Struck, who is a low-life scoundrel bank robber guy who is caught up in this story where these alien robots are accidentally awakened, and they are trying to eliminate all organic life in California so that they can turn California into a synthetic paradise for robots. And Preston Struck has to make the choice of either being the hero that most of the characters in this book think that he is capable of being, or run away from his problems and kind of be a coward like he always does. And that's his moral dilemma that he has to face in this book. This book is really good. I like it quite a bit. The art style is very similar to the style that TenNapel did on the graphic novel Black Cherry, which I've talked about on his channel before, but it's also a little bit different. Black Cherry is considerably darker. I think that you could very easily make the case that that is a nighttime book, whereas this book, most of the conflict here takes place during the day. And so I feel like it makes the artwork a little bit more clear, a little bit more crisp. I think that both examples are good. I like Black Cherry quite a bit, and I like the Iron West quite a bit. I don't think that either one is superior to the other, but it's very interesting that TenNapel is going for a very different tonal style here than he was with Black Cherry. But I really like the artwork here. I think that it's very good. A lot of times TenNapel will go a couple of pages without any words at all, just letting the artwork speak for itself, and that's very refreshing. Sometimes you will see a comic book where the art could speak for itself, but then they will put in captions there where it will say something like, "Valiantly, our protagonist runs across the field, sweat dripping down his forehead," and you're thinking, you don't really need to put all that down there. You could just show your protagonist running across the field with sweat dripping down their forehead. You don't have to put those words there, and I like that TenNapel is able to make the art speak for itself at many points in this book. This is also a very fast-paced book. If you are one of those people you don't like to just sit down and read, you don't feel like you have enough time to read, I was about halfway through this book, and it felt like I had been reading for like 10 minutes. It is a very fast-paced book. I was just enthralled by it. It was that long before I even looked to see how far I was in the book, but I really like this book. It's very enjoyable, and it's going to take you no time at all to read it, so you could even read it a couple of times in the amount of time that it would take you to read any other graphic novel. But this is a very fast-paced book. I like it quite a bit. It's also very wacky, and I mean that as a compliment. At one point, a Sasquatch shows up. There's no rhyme or reason to it at all, but it's funny, and it fits perfectly in the tone that this book is setting up. Also, the robots here are very funny. They don't really have much of a motivation other than they're evil, but that doesn't really bother me because they're robots. They don't really need a motivation like normal human characters would need one, but it doesn't bother me at all. At one point, one of the characters in this book who gets killed by a robot says, "Why are you doing this?" or he says something like that, and the robot says, "We kill humans for fun." And I thought that worked fine. I didn't need much more motivation than that. But this is a very silly, very wacky book that is 100% intentionally so, and I like that quite a bit. I really like this book. If you are into Westerns, but you also like the strange and the unusual, then this is a perfect weird Western book that I would recommend to just about anyone who is a fan of Westerns and science fiction and robots. It's got all those things in spades. I think that this book is right up just about anyone's alley, I would say. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't like this book. So those are my thoughts, my brief thoughts on The Iron West. I hope that you guys liked this review, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with a different video. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.